You make me feel so young. You make me feel that spring has sprung. Strangers in the night, two lonely people, we were strangers in the night. Now that Hayden and Andrea are back and driving Cleveland town.
Oh, yeah.
If I was like 50 years older, I could be with any woman I wanted.
First of all, I've been listening to your album pretty much all evening,
Just to
all morning,
to try to learn the songs.
all afternoon. But the thing is they're classic songs
Yes, they are,
that we
of course.
all know.
Yes.
When did you first know your love of music and recognize that you had a great voice?
I'm 27. I have not still recognized that I have a great voice. So
Shush.
that has never happened one day. But when I was like 5, 6, or somewhere in there, I think my dad's side of the family is pretty musical. He plays piano and he's very musically inclined. So I think my dad kind of had an inkling that I could hit hit a note or two when I was really young. And then I think 3rd grade, they had a I don't know if they do this in Ohio, but where I was growing up, they had like a boys choir, and they would go around to all the schools and like audition literally every boy. And I was the only boy. I think it was me and one other. We were the only boys from our school to go in this choir. It's called Singing Sons Choir. And then from there, obviously, my dad was like, "All right, well, do you like doing it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I love it so much." Like, I loved singing everything, and I think my first love was actually like the doo-wop, the Motown stuff from because we had a local radio station, 102.7, and it was kind of like 105.7 here, to where it was kind of the oldie stuff. Yeah. And I fell in love with it, so I started singing that, and then 5th grade came, and I loved Maroon 5. I loved Simon and Garfunkel. Like, I just rummaged through my parents' like CD collection, and I finally stumbled upon an album called Blue Light, Red Light from Harry Connick Jr. And I just, I think it was that album that, like, I didn't know who Harry Connick Jr. was. I didn't know what the music was, but like I knew I fell in love with it. Because I was so young, I had to do like a history lesson to teach myself about the music. And I really YouTube, like I was probably on YouTube like 5 hours a night, just like finding old clips of Sinatra at the Sands or whatever, and every song I could get my hands on, I would learn them, I would sing them, and
maybe you just picked one.
Yeah.
Frank, Dean, Sammy, and then you come into your like Michael Bublé's Harry
Yeah.
Connick Jr. Like, who would you want to sit with? Who would you want to play your
Sinatra
stuff
for
with?
sure.
Yeah, right.
I mean, come on, like
he's the godfather.
Yeah, he's the godfather. Like I always say like Frank Sinatra is the GOAT and Elvis, like the greatest of all time, and Elvis Presley is the king because he's the king.
Yeah.
But I would love Elvis too. I mean, that'd be so spectacular. That's a different kind of music, but certainly Frank Sinatra. I mean, yeah, just like from everything I've heard about, I've read his autobiographies, I've watched his documentaries, everything that I've heard is just like he was such a magnetic figure.
Did he think he was a good singer?
Yes, that's where we differ. He knew damn well he was a good singer. I think that's where we differ a little bit.
Do you have a favorite Frank song?
Yes, definitely. You Make Me Feel So Young.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, let's see. I mean, I think we might have it.
You make me feel so young. You make me feel that spring has sprung. Every time I see you grin, such a happy individual, the moment that you speak. This is about you, by the way. I want to run and play hide and seek. I want to go and bounce the moon just like a toy balloon. You and me, we're just like a couple of tots running around that there meadow, picking up a lot of those forget-me-nots. You make me feel so young.
No, you make me feel young.
You make me feel young. That's true. This music makes me feel young. And a wonderful fling to be flung. And even when I'm old and gray, I'm gonna feel the way I do today because you make me feel so young. The song isn't really about like the literal age. I think it's just like the way that you feel. Have you, when you have your childhood crush, have you ever like, did you have your, you had your childhood crush?
Oh, 100%.
Yes, like,
yes.
like it was like this boy for you, like a.
It was
like
Lane Tillett. His name was Lane Tillett.
Lane Tillett. If you're watching, like Lane Tillett made you feel like the happiest little girl in the world, right?
Oh yeah, I would just look at his little like 5th grade picture.
Yeah, you just
just
be like,
stare at it.
Yeah, and I mean, it might not be that song for you, but like, that's the song would be for me. Andrea, let me tell.
Almost 70-year-old women.
I'll tell you something. If I was like 50 years older, I could be with any woman I wanted.
That is the truth.
Anyone. Like, if I was 77 years old, I could pick. I'd be like, you. I want you.
All you have to do is serenade them with a bourbon in your hand.
Right, and exactly. And I go I go to nursing homes and do it for, you know, well, not anymore because of COVID and everything, but I used to go once a month to a nursing home down in Brunswick where my grandfather is, and like these women, I swear to God, like just wanted to like grab me. Like after the show, they're like, "Oh my God, never let me go." That's why I love doing it. It made them so happy, and
that's amazing that you did that too. Because here's the thing:
those are the people that appreciate the music. When I was walking around school, you know, I had my Walkman, you know. I had my Walkman and I had my headphones on, and like everybody else was listening to like Eminem, like, or at the time it was like 50 Cent, Eminem. They were really popular. Whoever else, like. And then I'm sitting there like
Lose Yourself in the Music is a good song.
It is. Now I'm not saying I disliked or had any problem with Lose Yourself.
Right.
I love it.
It
But,
has a time and place.
Oh, for sure. But I'd be walking around the halls listening to like, I know you so well. I could tell by the sound of your voice that, like a Harry Connick Jr. song. Like, you know, that's just the way it was. The shark babe has such teeth, dear. And he shows them pearly white, just a jackknife has old Maggie babe, and he keeps it way out of sight. Guess that line forms way on the right, babe. Now that Hayden and Andrea are back and driving Cleveland town.
Oh, yeah.
I said Jenny Diver, whoa, look out, Suki Tawdry. Stay back, Karen Vecchio, look out for Mr. Raymond too. Guess that line forms way on the right, babe. Now that Mackie's back in town, I said, look out, old Andrea's back.
Yes!
All right. All right. That's.
I gotta drive with my knee. I gotta drive the $90,000 car with my knee.
Don't crash.
Don't crash the Porsche.
The Porsche. Don't do it.
Oh my God! I know she's a beauty.
I do have to tell you a story about that song.
Okay, tell me.
So, when I was in 5th grade, when I was in 5th grade was the first time I ever performed on stage. I performed Maroon 5, "She Will Be Loved," because my voice hadn't changed yet, so I could do that Adam Levine thing.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if I want to admit this on camera, but I did a second song. I sang Clay Aiken's "Measure of a Man." True story.
Okay.
I mean,
hey, listen.
I really liked. I really
Clay
liked Clay
Aiken. I mean, it came down to the final two.
His voice is
Clay and Ruben. Which did you ever think about? I'm sidebarring your story.
No,
did
go
you
ahead.
ever think about doing any kind of like musical show, reality show?
Yes, my parents said, "Nope, you're not doing it."
Why?
Because they wanted me to get an education. They wanted me to get a college degree, no matter what. No matter if I was going to pursue music, pursue sports journalism, whatever. They knew that they wanted just me to have the best opportunity. So, like, there's this girl on TikTok. Her name is Dixie D'Amelio, and like her sister is the most. I think her sister Charlie D'Amelio is like the highest follower. He had like 85 million followers. But
on TikTok?
On TikTok. Like,
how old is she?
She is like 16. That's why I'm like, this is going to be kind of weird. But her sister is 18, and she has this song out. It's called "Be Happy." Okay. It's kind of like a sad. I think it's like a beautiful sentiment. Like,
sing it.
Okay, I'll sing it.
Okay.
Sometimes I don't want to be happy. Don't hold it against me. If I'm down, just leave me there. Let me be sad. Sometimes I just wanna be lonely. Don't need you to hold me. Something like that. It's a beautiful sentiment because like not everybody's happy all the time, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes you just need to be in a space where you're left alone
And where it's okay.
Yeah. Right.
Like
where
it's all right to like feel your feels,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I mean I have an immense experience in mental illness, and like I think that a lot of my experience kind of is what got me to that song, drew me to that song. It's because like, yeah, there were days where I just wanted to be left alone, and I didn't want to be around people, and you know, it's okay to have bad days. Like, you're not vulnerable, or you're not weak, you're not vulnerable, you know, you could just, some days you just need yourself.
How much did your love of music and that outlet help you as you were struggling with mental illness and whatever aspects of it were weighing on you?
Yeah, I mean, singing has always brought me a ton of joy, no matter what no matter what I'm singing. It's the most joyful thing I do. So, yeah, when I was going through it, I mean, anytime I was singing, it kind of took me away from that. But also, like, I think there were times where I used it to get more and more, like, I don't know if you've, like, some of the Sinatra stuff that he did when he broke up with Ava Gardner is like the saddest music in the world.
But that to me is when some of the greatest art happens through heartbreak.
Yes,
I mean,
on my album, I put one of his saddest songs on my album because I just think it's the most beautiful. Like,
which song?
I'm a Fool to Want You. It's called.
And sing that one?
Sure, I can sing that one. I'm a fool to want you, to want a love that can't be true, a love that's there for others too. I'm a fool to hold you. Just like the saddest, most like heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking.
But yes, but like also just so beautiful.
Yes, yes. Often I think when it comes to wanting to really make it in music, you think like, you've got to go to LA, you've got to be in New York, or a country, you'd be in Nashville. And so I listen to you sing, and I'm like, somebody's got to find this guy because your voice is so rich. There's so much depth. There's so much soul. It's just so beautiful. It's so smooth. And okay, so here you are in Cleveland, and we go, okay, well, what kind of access do you have to being able to make it in Cleveland? Musicians in Cleveland. There's a lot of talent here.
There's a ton of talent here. Yeah. First of all, I mean, you know, everybody's like, oh, well, what's next? Cleveland is my favorite place, and like, it's so weird, but it really is my favorite place in the world. I am happy here. I am comfortable here. I want to help and be here. So like, nothing's ever out of the question, but like, if it were up to me, I would call Cleveland home for the rest of my life. And I hope to do that. I hope to do that. So that being said, so Mike Petrone, I mean, I owe everything here to him, because when I first came here out of Ohio State, like what, I was 5-6 years ago, I went to Johnny's after the Cleveland Sports Awards, and he was sitting there, and I introduced myself, and he was so nice, and he's like, you want to sing some songs? And yeah. And like, instant friendship, it was instant connection, and I owe everything to him.
Most people know you as working at Cleveland.com
right.
and covering sports.
Right. So.
And then you moonlight as a singer.
I recently went through something that we talked about, and it brought up a lot of emotions. It brought up a lot of feelings, and it brought up like probably an entire book of lyrics. Like a lot of lyrics that I wrote.
You wrote a lot of lyrics.
Like an entire book full. About heartbreak.
Wow, that's where the best stuff comes from.
Right. So I'm working on it.
So they're love songs.
Yeah.
So writing your own music.
Yes.
That is, and do you also, you write lyrics, but can you also write the melody?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think it's more about chords. It's about chords, like, you know, it's about what chord changes you're going to have, and yeah, I can do that.
What do you play?
I played like a tiny bit of piano, like enough to like pound out chords and like write a song. I just actually got a piano in my place, so that's been helping me big time.
I want to do my favorite song on your album.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
The Mike Petrone on this. The most romantic lyrics ever, by the way, too. I can only give you love that lasts forever, and the promise to be near each time you call, and the only heart I own for you and you alone, that's all. I love that that's your favorite song.
It's my favorite one. I love it so much. It's such a beautiful song.
I mean, it is.
I love the arrangement on it.
Yes.
I love the way that you sing it. And
I appreciate that.
it's just like, I feel like it's sort of like the perfect way to end the evening, right?
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely.
How about that, Michael Bublé
Do you want
montage?
Do you want the montage? Okay.
Yeah.
You want to go album by album? You want to do it that way?
Yeah, sure.
Hold me close, sway me more. You know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by. You know how I feel. Another summer day is come and gone away. In Paris or Rome, but I wanna go home. No. You're the getaway car. You're the line in the sand when I go too far. You're the swimming pool on August day, and you're the perfect thing to say. And you play it coy, but it's kinda cute in this crazy life. And through these crazy times, it's you. I'll give so much more than I get. Yeah, I just haven't met you yet.
Can you do Strangers in the Night?
Yeah.
Which is not Michael Bublé. I feel
No.
like that will fit your voice really well.
This is how deep my nerddom for this music goes. Strangers in the Night. First of all, that's how Scooby-Doo got his name. Did you know that?
No.
Have you ever heard the end? Scooby-Dooby-Doo, boo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Is that where the name came from?
That is where the name came from.
I had no idea.
Strangers in the night, exchanging glances, wondering in the night, what are the chances we'd be here in love before the night was through? Something in your eyes was so inviting, something in your smile was so exciting, something in my heart told me I must have you. Strangers in the night, two lonely people, we were strangers in the night. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. You gotta look at it. You gotta.
I love it. Is there any genre you don't do? Like, can you do country?
What song? By the way, and like, this is no fault of your own, but like, my voice is not as good now as it would be at like 8 p.m.
I'm Italian, so let's do this.
Okay. Oh,
Here we
yes.
go.
Yes, this is perfect. Yes. This ends on a big note, too. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
I don't even know what that means.
When the world seems to shine like you've had too much wine, that's amore.
Oh, yes, it is.
Bells will ring, ting-a-ling-a-ling, ting-a-ling-a-ling, and you'll sing Vita Belle. Stars will play tippy-tippy-tay, tippy-tippy-tay, like a gay tarantelle. When the stars make you drool, just like pasta.